Something huge just happened in Washington, D.C. The justices of the Supreme Court just systematically dismantled one of the left's most powerful election-stealing tools. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. Those mysterious envelopes that keep showing up after Election Day. Those ballots that materialize out of nowhere days after you went to the polls. And somehow they always seem to swing one way. Well, not anymore. As many of you know, the United States Supreme Court just heard one of the most consequential election law cases in decades. And based on what happened in that courtroom yesterday, the days of mail-in ballots mysteriously trickling in after Election Day may be finally numbered. The case is Watson versus Republican National Committee, and it's a blockbuster. The RNC brought this challenge back in 2024, targeting, ironically, Mississippi's law that allowed mail-in ballots to be counted as long as they arrived up to 5 business days after Election Day, provided that they were postmarked by Election Day. The RNC's argument is simple, powerful, and rooted in the text of the law itself. Federal statutes designate a specific election day, and that means what it says. Any ballots not received on that day are by definition invalid. For over 2 hours, the court's conservative justices grilled Mississippi's defenders, and virtually all court analysts agreed the justices were not impressed. The man who stole the show, Justice Sam Alito, who delivered what can only be described as a verbal sledgehammer to this liberal insanity.
We have lots of phrases that involve 2 words, the second of which is day. Labor Day, Memorial Day, George Washington's birthday, Independence Day, birthday, and Election Day. And they're all particular days. So if we start with that, if I have nothing more to look at than the phrase Election Day, I think this is the day in which everything is going to take place, or almost everything. And then we have 3 points in time, 1844, 1872, 1914. And we can ask, what would people have thought on those days is meant by this phrase, Election Day? Which of those should we choose? Which of those dates should we choose?
Well, I think you could choose any of the 3. I mean, honestly, I think the single best one, if you're just going to choose one, is 1872. And the reason I say that is because 1914 is the latest in time, but that's the one that Congress gave the least thought to.
That's actually some very clever legal framing that Alito just did there. He asked, that was the RNC lawyer he was talking to. He asked him at which historical moment should the court interpret what Election Day actually means.